Many old world leaders die, an armed robbery in Hong Kong, and everyone is leaving. Many things have happened since the last episode, but since this is still exploring Hong Kong, I'll keep the stuff that happened around the rest of the world very short. So basically, a little while ago, Mikhail Gorbachev, the last leader of the Soviet Union, the ender of the Cold War, and Nobel Peace Prize winner, died. He was very, very old, in his 90s, and had basically seen it all. His policies of perestroika had a lasting effect on the Soviet economy that eventually ended up in its collapse. Sure, the Soviet Union collapsed, but Russia is at least slightly more democratic than the Soviet Union is. Well, debatable, but you know. Gorbachev also ended the Soviet Union by building better ties and even making friends with some of the American leaders. Margaret Thatcher even describing him as a man she could do business with. Meanwhile, on the other side of the Iron Curtain, there was Queen Elizabeth II, who, just a day ago, as of recording this on September the 8th, unfortunately passed away due to old age. Under her reign, many nations, like the Bahamas and St. Lucia, gained independence, and some, after gaining independence, later ditched her and left the Commonwealth. Barbados. She also signed a declaration that gave Canada its full independence from Britain. Then they joined the Commonwealth, 'cause, God save the Queen and all that. Even though she probably had something to do with Princess Diana's death. But if I keep talking, I'm gonna offend too many British people, so we're just gonna continue. Speaking of which, God save the entire United Kingdom, 'cause Prince Charles is now the king. Meanwhile, in Hong Kong, a group of armed robbers robbed a store and stole over $13 million worth of watches. How they got a gun in Hong Kong, a place that has guns banned, very rightfully, I do not know how they got the guns. Some say that it was just an air gun that they modified. Air guns are completely legal in Hong Kong. But some are saying it was completely fake the entire time, and that they just used it and made the watchmakers think that it was real. The only thing that has been caught so far is that there are 6 suspects, and they found one of the getaway vehicles near the reservoir up in Hong Kong Island. Up next are 2 stories that tie well together. Well, one's a little fact, another is a story. Basically, Hong Kong housing prices are falling, and this is of course great. As one of the most expensive cities in the world, people will do anything over there to save an extra buck. And now, saving on rent is their next strategy, and it'll be made very easy. This is either because Carrie Lam's plan to reduce housing prices is working, or it's just because there are so many expats leaving, which is that little tidbit that I was talking about. In fact, actually, expats leaving is actually good for ensuring security in Hong Kong, technically, because then that'll mean that there will be less people that want to protest because they will have just moved somewhere to the UK where they will be allowed to protest. The only expats that do remain in Hong Kong are diehard Hong Kong fans who are only staying there because, let's face it, Hong Kong is an awesome place. And that's it for exploring Hong Kong. Pretty crazy stuff going on in Hong Kong and around the rest of the world right now. Sure, there'll be more crazy headlines coming, but in the meantime, back to the normal schedule. Anyways, Soy Keen, and see you next episode.